an hour a day to answer emails, which it's fine. It's the only time it's a problem is when I'm traveling, because it'll be like you're out all day, and then I have to go back to the hotel and answer emails. It wears a bit. Hey, where did Hopkins go?
Get more pizza.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to have to start without him. Welcome to the Practical Pistol Show. My name is Ben Steger. I'm here to answer your shooting questions. Joining me today, when he gets back from getting pizza, Matt Hopkins will be here. Nick Antola's here. Yes, and somebody we haven't seen in a while, Angry Matt.
What's up, Internet?
What's up, Internet? Hey, Hopkins, you're still muted if you want to talk. But yeah, you're muted, buddy. That's not working. So look at him. Yeah, you talk all you want. We can't hear you. Oh, that's sad. Okay, anyway. Today's first topic, I think we've got two that are a little bit related with all the election stuff going on in USPSA. Got an interesting forum or interesting thread teed up on the forum. Have you gotten your money's worth in USPSA expenses? This guy says, I've spent about $100 on USPSA for 2 years, and he's spent some classifier fees. If you don't know, that's built into match fees that you pay. I've had fun and gotten about what I expected. You? So I guess we'll put the question to you, Yantola. How much money have you spent on USPSA? Do you even know?
Well, I could tally up all the money that I spent on USPSA, and the membership fee is obviously nothing. I mean, have I got my money's worth out of just a membership fee? Absolutely. I mean,
well, just the magazine's worth that, right?
I mean, I don't even read the magazine, but if you want to, I mean, we can say it out loud. I'm pretty sure everyone on this call would pay 10 or 20 times a membership fee without even blinking. I mean, it's if you're trying to compete in a sport, I mean, 20 what is it, $40 a year? I mean, that's really nothing. I mean, come on. So, I mean, you get to shooting major matches, you get the classification system, you get the magazine. Absolutely. I mean, I think the fee is very reasonable. What you get.
Olacek, is that the first time you've ever picked up that front sight?
I'm sorry, I was just enjoying my official publication of the United States Practical Shooting Association. Well, this guy's just talking about his fees to HQ, right? And if that was worth spending?
Yes.
I mean, sure, right?
I think
you get a sweet classification card and a magazine, and you get to shoot major matches, and it's like $45 a year.
I think the point that he's not so subtly trying to make is that all the guys complaining about the money that they spend and like, where's the money going, HQ? There's a few howler monkeys on the internet that do love to complain about potential misappropriation of money, or they're not doing this, or USPSA is not doing that. So what do you think about that for your $40 a year?
So you're saying that since happy? I only pay them $40 a year that I really shouldn't be able to bitch because it's not a lot of money?
I'm not saying that. I think that's the point this guy's trying to make.
Oh. Then it went way over my head.
You did, huh? You're not sophisticated.
I mean, that's a reasonable fee to support the national organization. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. There's not really much to talk about there.
Hopkins, are you back on the call?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right. Do you get your money's worth out of USPSA?
Yes.
No, you don't even have to think about it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, they give us a classifier system. They give us a standard set of rules that we all pretty much like. Sure, they could work on it a little, but yeah, I mean, it's a pretty simple answer.
All right. Well, probably one of the more intelligent posters. His name is Phil Dat-Puss. This is what he has his name on. He says, after 6 months, I love it. I crave it. I really appreciate the guys that put a lot in the sport, whatever. His biggest complaint is how long it takes the classifiers to be posted. He used classifier calc, and he should have made a solid B average, but it's taking forever. very excited about it, but also anxious to see how close to A he is. Blah blah. HQ has issues. So what do you think? The classifiers are slow. This guy's kind of taking the same position as Nick. That it could be better. Hopkins.
Yeah, I
Did we
agree.
lose
I
him
mean,
again?
this day and age, we should see instant classification updates. I don't think that's too much to ask with this current technology.
All right. Well, I suppose that's pretty reasonable. Okay. So all you guys think you get your money's worth out of USPSA. That's fair to say.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's good because then we can segue into the next
What are some of the
topic.
reasons people are saying they don't, actually?
Well, I don't know that
Good
anyone's
question.
saying they don't get their money's worth out of it. Like I said, I think the subtle point being made is you spend $40 a year and you shoot all these matches and go fuck yourself. So, I mean, like basically, I think that's what he's trying to say. Is what are you guys constantly complaining about? With HQ did this or that, and it's like you pay $40 a year and you shoot matches. So really, what
Oh,
is
so
there to
he's just
complain about?
wondering why all these dudes are bringing up all the HQ issues, or
Well, based on the
doesn't
context,
really make
I
sense
would-
to me. I mean, you can
would
go
say-
to your local match every weekend and have a match there. All that stuff doesn't really matter, and it hasn't affected me at the matches I've shot this year at all. So
No, it hasn't. So why are you so interested in the presidential election, Hopkins?
Striking production
because I
optics.
believe we can make a difference in that,
Well,
and a difference needs to be made.
oh shit, damn. All right,
So
well,
Matt Hopkins is formally announcing his run for USPSA president.
No,
Is that what
that just
I
was?
totally do not have time for that.
he's going to be Area 9 director.
Yeah. Supposedly, I guess HQ is going to move to my house with kegs, is what Ace said.
Kegs.
Whatever. Okay, let's head on to the next topic. I think this segues in an interesting way. So with all the complaining in the presidential election going on. Somebody else posed the question: USPSA quality versus quantity. So he says, in the Super interview, growth of the sport seemed to come up often. One of the questions asked about how the growth would occur. As was pointed out in a question, room to grow is limited in some areas. So he points out in the eastern portion of the country, it's tough to get a range started. And here's the main question: would it be better to focus on quality instead of growth? This would need to start from the top down. HQ needs to be responsive and helpful for the existing clubs. Resources need to be available and up to date. There needs to be confidence with the HQ. Below that level, you can improve some majors. Not all sell out quickly. Help them develop into the kind of match that does. Offer help in attaining sponsors, designing stages, and getting ROs. So, what do you think about that? We'll let you kick it off, Hopkins. What do you think? Should we get more matches, or would it be more important to you to make the current matches better?
I'm always a fan of more matches, more options. But I could see it either way, honestly. More people is also pretty good.
Why?
But there's a side effect to that. If we don't have more matches, the more people is just going to cause more time.
Well, or it might be kind of like the situation that you're running into in a lot of matches. I think, Nick, especially in your part of the country, it can be tough to get into matches, right?
Our local club match, which is not the only one within a 2-hour drive, has gone to online squatting, and we have 70 people signed up within like 3 days at this point for a
And
local
what-
match. We have.
Go ahead.
So yeah, it can be. We don't. When people show up, we don't kick them out, but depending on the weather and the time of the year and all that kind of stuff, we can have club matches that are as big as a small sectional. No problem.
What about major matches in your area?
It kind of depends. I don't know why, but some of them sell out, within a day, and some of them are always open. And I've been to probably all of them at least once, and I can't say I sensed a major difference in the overall quality of the match. I don't know. I honestly don't understand what drives that from match to match. Some are gone instantly, some are not. I don't know why.
I signed up for one match down in Area 6 this year, maybe 6-8 weeks before, just for a section match, and I got waitlisted.
Which one?
The Bluegrass.
Oh yeah. Is that
That was
even Area
cool.
6?
What's that?
Is that Area 6?
Probably. I don't know.
I don't know.
Is that Area 6? Maybe it's Area 5.
I think it is.
I don't think Kentucky's Area 6. I'd have to look.
Shit, you're right. Maybe it's Area 5. Either way,
Okay.
that's as close as I'm going to go to your house for a section match. It's like a 14-hour drive.
Oh, whoa.
I got waitlisted.
Well, you're.
And I thought that was kind of. What's that?
I'm not gonna drive 14 hours for a section match, so you're more
Well,
motivated.
I'm a lot more committed to this sport than you are. Okay.
Apparently.
I can't help that I care.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right. What about you, Angry Matt? You want more matches?
Is that
More
what that
people,
guy's just talking about? Just
or we want to
improving
make it
by
better?
growing membership, or is he talking about improving?
Well, he's saying which is
processes?
better. Which is better? Should we have more people in the sport, or should we have better matches?
I think they need to fix the fucking Nationals registration process, but that's just my current bite in the ass.
All right, go ahead. You
Well, it just seems like, I mean, just
it
kind of
off.
piggybacking on the whole presidential election stuff, like the USPSA website, there's been like no communication at all about Nationals. Like, there's nowhere to find any information out, it seems
Hey,
like.
that website was great in 1998,
1990,
and it's still great, right? Or no? Is that not how that works?
Some of it's okay. I like the results that USPSA produce on their site better than Practice Score.
Okay, so it sounds like you're leaning towards fixing like making it better. That's
Well,
what
I think part of, I mean, if the goal is just to increase the membership and get a whole bunch of more shooters, in the short term at least, it's gonna, like Matt said, make matches last longer, make it harder to get in to register for stuff. Maybe in the long term, if the sport explodes in popularity, there's more range access, there's more clubs, there's more, options. But
well,
I
it's
think
sounding
that's
like you're not really digging the idea of getting a lot more people in, and you just, hey man, I just want to register for Nationals and get in there and get it done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you
Matches are long enough already.
look. It's the internet. People expect you to be an asshole. If you don't care if more people come and shoot, that's fine. You're entitled to that opinion. You
Okay.
just, yeah, go ahead, Nick.
All right.
You'll
So
be the asshole.
there's a point where you can't have one without the other. Okay. So like your overall match quality is limited by what at the end of the day, money. Okay. So the more people you bring in, the more
Match
money
quality?
you bring in. Yeah.
I assure you, it's not limited by money.
Well, I don't know if that's a limiting factor for a lot of matches or not, but at the end of the day, it's what I've said is, well, I don't know if I said it before or not, but how does golf handle it? Okay, if you were to have unlimited growth in USPSA,
You have said you do like to. What does golf do?
You've said it
Okay,
before,
we'll
yeah.
do that.
we're playing golf with a gun. All right, so golf is a sport that has a lot more people that play it than USPSA. All right, how do they handle it? Well, they have a lot more courses. Okay. So yes, if the demand was there, you'd have a lot more ranges. Just financially speaking, that would happen. Okay, and then
it costs what, $100 to grab a tee time, and you have to register in advance.
depends on how good the golf course is.
Yeah, it really does. I think golf is driven by money.
But first of all, you spend about $100 to go. I don't know, maybe not quite 100, but you spend a lot of money to go shoot a club match between ammo, gas, entry fee, all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's not super cheap.
It's got to be $100.
There's plenty of places you can play golf for less money than you can go shoot a club match. All right, no question. But the other thing then, if you increase the amount of people that come in, how do you handle the problem of the major match is selling out in a second? Okay. Currently this is out of our realm, but at some point you'd have to limit or condition how you let people into those matches. Same reason that every golfer in the country can't play in the Masters. If you had a million USPSA shooters out there, they would not all be able to shoot in the Nationals. That's just the way it is.
Is that a problem you'd like to see us have? Would you like to see USPSA grow, get bigger, like that?
I would like to see it. It would not hurt my feelings if it went that way. I mean, and it would have to. If you had enough people that wanted to play, at some point, major matches, you're going to have to control how people get in a different way than you do it now.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you to make a choice between making the sport bigger or making it better. Okay? Yeah. I know one thing that really, really rubs you the wrong way, and not for a bad reason, popper calibration. I've personally witnessed you get bent over and fucked on popper calibrations, I think at least twice.
Yeah.
When you center punch the mini popper and it doesn't fall over, that's not really a good day. Okay? So would you rather popper calibration in some way gets fixed and you never get popper fucked again, or would you like to see the sport grow?
All right. So
Which
I guess
is more important to you, Nick?
We may have different definitions, or I may have interpreted your definition of making the sport better.
Well, no, it's open-ended. Like better, however you want.
Okay, so popper calibration,
better.
That's a rules issue, all right? And yes, I think there should be a rule tweak made to popper calibration based on recent experience. But I don't, when I think of making the sport better, I think of the overall quality of the match experience.
Right. And how did it make you feel, Nick? Let's talk about your feelings. When you get popper fucked, how's your match experience that day?
Well, it's not too good, but at the end of the day, it probably doesn't have a whole lot to do with the match officials other than...
No, I'm just saying, looking
at
it in a broad sense, would you rather the sport be bigger or better? Assuming we can only do one, of course.
If you can only do one,
I would rather
I don't think you can
see it be better.
Hopkins, you're voting better.
I don't think you can separate them either. Yeah, better.
Well, for the purpose of discussion, we can, right?
Well, sorta.
Oh, I guess.
I don't know. I don't think you can necessarily separate. I think it's all.
You just don't like the question that I put in front of you.
The overall quality at the end of the day is driven by the amount of money you have available to make a match happen. Right?
Is it?
Why do we have to separate it?
I think it is.
Or why is it one or the other?
Because that's the only way it's a fun discussion. Otherwise, it'd be like, yeah, make it bigger, make it better, and blowjobs for everyone. It's going to be awesome. Right?
That's a good plan.
You convinced me on that one, so.
Did I? Maybe you should run for president, and that's your platform.
Okay, there we go. I think I could still sign up till tomorrow, and I could still run.
You're gonna need a lot of money to run to make that happen.
Which part?
Well, that's
You'd be surprised how cheap you can in St. Louis, man.
St. Louis?
Where does Hopkins live?
Kansas City.
Oh, whatever. God damn it.
Are you in line with the hooker prices around the country?
I was trying to drop a joke, but I fucked up.
Yes, that's right. Jesus Christ. That went sideways in a hurry. All right, guys.
All right, so quality over quantity.
I'll say it. I'd rather the matches be better.
All right,
I'd rather it be better.
Define quality. Okay, make it better.
Yeah, I want to know exactly what would make it better.
It's popper calibration. I'll take the example I gave to Nick. I would rather popper calibration be fixed than we add 10% more members. For me personally, just arbitrarily.
Those are so not even close to related to each other that.
It has nothing to do with it. It's totally ridiculous. Of course. I mean, one has nothing to do with the other, I suppose, but I would rather the sport be better. However you want to define better. So
if we get more people, you think it could be financially better for the top shooters like all of us, where there's actual prize money and stuff like that?
I didn't want to say it, but I was about to say a couple people on this call would benefit more from growing.
Yeah, he said us. I'm like, oh, okay.
Do I think it'd be financially better? Okay.
Dude, you guys are...
Well, let's assume that it's a linear sort of progression in terms of how much prize money you get. Okay? So if we double the membership, let's say I get twice as much prize money for winning a match. Does that sound fair? So I'll take what I won in cash matches last year, and I'll multiply that by 2, and then I still have 0.
Zero.
Okay, so once again, compare this to golf. What happens? The top golfers make 10, 20 times or more money off sponsorships than they do off actual prize money at matches.
Well, the reason the sponsorships matter is because people actually give a shit about watching golf. Right?
Yeah, and that may come from the fact that millions and millions of people play golf.
Yes. Lots of people shoot guns, but not a
It
lot
has
of
to be
them
spectator
do
friendly
USPSA.
first.
It's not really a spectator. It's not really spectator friendly.
That's not really the same comparison, though.
I don't know. I mean, you gotta. I think it is because USPSA is a specific sport. Just because you own a gun or shoot a gun doesn't mean you're involved in USPSA.
Hey,
Obviously.
just because you own golf clubs doesn't make you a golfer. I think I read that somewhere.
Well, yeah, that's definitely true. But.
Okay, well let's say that is the same comparison. How many people would you need playing USPSA? So we just need millions and millions of people doing USPSA, and then all the GMs are going to have so much money it's going to be retarded. Is that kind of where we're at with it?
We just got to multiply our membership by 50 times, and then we're there.
That sounds reasonable, Hopkins. I like where your head's at. Jesus.
So for any short-term or long-term goal, it doesn't make sense to worry about quantity at this point in a purely money sense.
Quantity of money or quantity of people shooting?
Quantity of people shooting. We'd have to have 50 times what we have now.
For it to be like a massive televised thing.
Or to duplicate that kind of money.
Yeah, but I don't think that's not what most participants, I don't think, really give a shit about seeing to it that top-level shooters get money. I don't think people really care. Rightly so.
No, but you already have stuff like Hot Shots out there that that's one step away basically from live coverage. I mean, if people watch that, right? Don't companies finance Hot Shots? It's not live, obviously, but it is a TV show professionally produced on a quasi-major TV channel.
Yeah, but the difference is, I think a lot of the money to get that produced it's not coming from advertising. It's going the other way.
Well, I can tell you how the TV shows work on outdoor channels. Either the network pays to have the show to be on their channel, or the show pays the network to get that airtime. So that equates into, if you're a real popular show, the network will pay you to be on it. But if you're not, like some other shows, you actually have to pay to be on the network. So you have to pay for their airtime.
So are we saying Hot Shots falls into the one that pays for the airtime?
I don't know.
Then if they're paying it to be on the TV show, that makes no sense. Then how are they?
Why?
Where's their money coming from? Advertising?
Advertisers.
So I thought the TV channel sold the advertisements, and that's how I thought the revenue came from the advertisers into the TV station and the TV.
No, when they buy that 30 minutes, they buy the whole time. They buy the ads also. So they could put whoever is paying for it, basically, their ads on that 30-minute block.
So that's different than most, or like super popular sporting events, and that's a totally different model.
Yeah, it is.
Right, you know why it's a different model?
You got networks fighting over each other to have,
There's no fucking money.
Super Bowl or whatever. Yeah.
There's no fucking money in it. Because nobody watches it.
Whoever's broadcasting the Super Bowl pays the NFL tons of money to broadcast the Super Bowl, and then they sell advertising to.
That's because people watch it.
That's just people want to watch the Super Bowl.
Millions of people.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't watch Shooting USA, and that would be targeted at people like me, and I don't fucking watch it.
I don't watch it because I don't get those channels anymore. Because I got tired of paying $150 a month for a damn TV subscription.
You just pay for your own TV show. We all canceled cable and just bought a TV show.
Okay.
I feel we've gotten off topic here a little bit.
You think so? All right. So, Hopkins, you want to see the sport be bigger, more people?
I don't know, man. I've kind of changed my mind throughout this conversation, I'll say I want it to get better right now. And then we can get more people after that.
Okay, that's cool. What about you, Angry Matt? Bigger or better?
I always agree with Hopkins. I like what happens.
Antola.
I don't think you can fairly separate the two. I think they go hand in hand.
Who said I have to be fair? What?
If we had to come up with a better example of making it better than a rules issue. That's
all right. How about
how many people are playing?
If we had less people, or let's say we keep the same number of people, and the website gets sorted out with USPSA's website. The classifier system is like lickety split. Like they run an update every single night, or whatever. Maybe it's updated dynamically as soon as the club uploads the results. It gets integrated with Practice Score, so Practice Score results kick over to USPSA right away, and the website's just awesome. Like it's so awesome that you, as a USPSA shooter, you make it the home page in your browser because there's news, there's shit that you want to read on there. It's interesting. You're like, hey, it's all these scores, all this stuff that I'm interested in reading. It's not this bullshit, these emails that we get, like, 5 ways to improve your stance. Like,
You saw that today, too?
No, hey, you know the best part about that was? They had a fucking IDPA article in it.
All right, so there's no more of that. Imagine there's articles that you actually want to read for whatever, hey, yeah, that's interesting to me.
All right, and what is standing between where we are now and all that stuff? What is it? At the end of the day, it's money. It's all about money.
I don't think so. I think it's
I'm not sure about that.
It takes money to implement everything you just said.
Right, but I think they have the money.
I'm going to come out and say it's the people we have currently in the system. I know that might not be popular, but...
Oh, it's pretty popular. That's a pretty good
that's the popular howler monkey position.
Yeah.
My suspicion, based on the amount of dues that people pay, and that the money that USPSA gets, and what I know about what it takes to have a website, financially, I feel like the money's there. That would, if there's the will to do it, the money's there. So, what do you think? Which would you rather have?
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'll give you an
good.
extreme example just to set. I'll tell you about how much money doesn't fucking matter. Hopkins, you remember the match fee for the World Shoot?
Yeah, $500.
$500 was the match fee for the World Shoot. There was like 1,000 people there.
It's $500K.
Yeah, it's a lot of cash.
That's not in euros.
Now, Hopkins, you liked the match, right? You liked the World Shoot.
It was very good, yeah.
I agree. I liked it. I loved the stages. I thought it was a great match. Seriously, it was really good. So I'm not dumping on the match, but if I say, was that match 10 times better than any other match I've been to? No, it wasn't. It wasn't like they spent $100,000 to construct elaborate stages or anything. It was just they were nice and well put together stages. I really liked it. So the money in that instance doesn't really seem like it mattered. You see what I'm saying, Nick?
There wasn't even enough money in that for parking.
No, parking was not included in the $500. If you wanted to drive to the match, you had to pay an extra $50.
Well, I'll say that range does construct elaborate props and stuff like beyond most ranges. What percentage of that money is going into that at that point? I don't understand the financial breakdown of that match at all. Like I haven't even looked at it. I don't know what they may or may not be.
The point I'm making is that putting more money into the match it doesn't make the match like 5 times better if you spend 5 times the money on it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, okay.
Well, it's a volunteer-driven sport, and for the most part, whoever is willing to put in the most time is going to put the match on the ground.
What if we had more money? We could actually pay
point.
people to do it. So I kind of see that point in that.
What?
If we had more money, we could pay people to actually set up matches and stuff. I don't know.
Because
go to the Home Depot with your pickup truck and pick up a bunch of dudes.
Dude, whatever works, right?
I'd be totally cool with that. Like if it saves the match director from burning out and they need to go to Home Depot and get some labor, I'm cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. Here's another example. No professional level sport has officials that are also playing the game in the same tournament. Okay. So you'd have to.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Also,
you have to pay ROs, SOs, whatever. You'd have to. All these people would be paid positions if you were in a pro level sport.
In pro-level sports, they don't blow calls either, though.
Right, never.
Yeah.
They blow calls.
Well, you
But
could
they're
do that
not.
now. You just have to. The match fees would go nuts.
Right, no.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. So you bring all these people in, you got a lot more money coming in.
Hold on. So
People
at an,
start doing that kind of stuff.
at an NFL game, they're going to have paid officials, right, Nick? But if you're playing touch football in the park with some local guys, you're not going to have paid officials.
Right.
So that's the level that I think most people do USPSA at, is they roll out to their club match. So I don't think they need to.
Okay, but we're still even doing that at the national championship level. All those
Right.
guys have shot the match for score, right?
Some have.
Some of them have.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't really say that they're not. I mean, I guess they shot the match, but most of them are not really like competing in it, in the sense that you are.
Right. Okay, I agree with that. Yeah, at nationals, probably, to my knowledge.
Yes.
Now, some other matches like sectionals, that's always true.
This is good. See, this turned into kind of a fun discussion, right?
How are you going to handle the topic on this one? Is it going to be like some kind of shit show?
What topic What topic description are you going to write?
YouTube name.
All right, it'll be Tim Meyers is useless.
All right, perfect.
Because, as usual, he sits on here listening in and says nothing.
You do have him muted too.
No, he has him muted. He's welcome to speak.
He doesn't even have the ninth place sharpshooter plaque up there, man.
Yeah, where's the He's got the Pro Shop logo. I'm chatting. Ha ha, he says. Whatever, fuck you. Okay, let's move on to a shooting question, which I think will apply to all of you guys, because all of you guys have taken classes, and I imagine... Yantola, have you taught a class yet?
Yeah. I work with one or two or three people at a time, so I don't have like a line of 10 people out there, but
one person's a private lesson, 2 people's a class.
Okay, then I've had a classes. Yeah.
Okay, let's get into a shooting question. The other day in practice, I set up a stage for one of my shooting buddies to solve. I then asked him what he thinks would be the best way to shoot the stage. His reply: in most of the classes I've been to, a majority of the GMs say to do it this way. I said, I didn't ask what a majority of GMs would do. I asked what you would do, which brings me to my question. When is too many classes too many? My friend is a B shooter and has been to at least 8 to 10 USPSA classes from different instructors. He's a very analytical thinker. At times he thinks about things too much. While I appreciate his thirst for knowledge, I don't think more knowledge is the answer for him right now. In my opinion, he needs to selectively take what he's learned and burn it in through good repetition, then find out if it works for him. Knowing about something and being able to do it are two different things. I think sometimes he validates his answer with X and Y pro shooter do it this way instead of knowing how he should do it. I'd rather him show me his answer through his shooting than telling me how you or another instructor have told him to do it. Should he lay off the classes for now and learn to teach himself? All right, Hopkins, how many classes is too many? What do you think?
I don't know, man. That's a personal decision. Like, if this dude wants to take classes, let him take classes. But
hey,
I don't think that's
cashed.
the gist of the question, though, right?
Well,
that's not the real question in that, right?
Well, the real question.
I think the real question is.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So let's hear the real question.
I think the real question is, should you actually be doing the work, or can you just like substitute a class for that? Right? Or maybe not.
That would cut to the core of it. Yeah, that's the core of the issue.
Okay.
As a guy on the other side of the equation, I can tell you there's plenty of guys that roll into a class who's like haven't trained in 6 months and they're there to do a class and it's kind of like, oh. Or my favorite, showing up to a class with me with a gun that you've never shot before. Or shot like one day. Dude. You're in for a long weekend, buddy. So
I think I did that.
And it was a long weekend, wasn't it?
That's because Bobby built that gun.
Yeah, I told you
Oh
that.
my
I was
God.
like, oh boy. I was not wrong.
So this dude, personally, my opinion is he needs to actually get out there and start doing some practice and take all that knowledge he learned over the 8 classes and actually apply it. But
Whoa.
everybody here knows that there are people like that just take classes and take classes. Not just in this like group of USPSA shooters. That's in everything.
That's one of the knocks on like the whole Timmy crowd is like
Absolutely.
they take 6 classes a year with Magpul and whoever Navy SEAL guy, and they say I trained 6 times this year or whatever, but that's the only practice they put in. That's not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy that wrote in the question, I think, has it right. As far as just getting out there, he's got to burn it in and put the work in and see what works for him.
8 or 10 classes is a shitload of classes. A lot of time.
I mean, how did he say how long the guy's been doing it for? I mean, that is a lot, but that's even more if he's like, he's been doing it for a year and a half and he took 10 classes already.
Holy shit.
Dude,
even if he's been doing it 5 years, that's 2 classes a year. That is a shit ton.
That's like
no, that's not a shit ton if you're really serious. I mean, if the guy's shooting 30,000 rounds a
2
year.
2 classes a year?
If he's doing 30,000 rounds
but he's not training.
What?
He's not.
The dude is I know he's not, but 2 a year is not a lot for a dude in that circumstance. It just depends on what you're doing.
Did the email say the guy's not practicing, just taking classes?
I don't think it didn't.
You shoot like 2,000 rounds a weekend at a class. That's fine.
Yeah, I didn't. So based on just the email, I didn't feel like there was honestly enough information to answer the question, right? So I like to take a class a year.
Nick, God damn it!
Well, here's the
Fire
thing.
from the hip. The guy. Let me just clue you in. The guy asking the question already knows what answer he's looking for, which is tell my friend to stop taking hard and go practice. That's what he's looking for you to say. So you're going to make his day or not? All
right. I think it's more dependent on what's your total resource outlay and what do you like. If I'm not going to take more classes if I am going to get more out of practice at that time. Okay, so like if I feel like I've taken the knowledge I got from say the last class and I've applied that to the limit in practice, do I think it's good to go take another class from somewhere else and get another perspective on the same kind of stuff? I think it's great. I think getting all kinds of different perspectives is awesome to do. But I'm not going to just go take a class and then don't practice and then go next month take another class somewhere and don't practice. It's all about how are you applying the knowledge that you are gaining in these classes. If you're not doing anything with it, then another class is a waste of time. If you've absorbed the data from that class, applied it in your practice, try to maximize how much you're improving yourself based on that class, and then you're ready for another one, then go. And so I think it's dependent on how much time you are really putting into it. And
Nick, I feel like there was enough information in the question to answer it, where he said he's taken 8 to 10 USPSA classes and he's in B class. What's your gut feeling on this?
I missed the B class part before you mentioned that. I'm sorry. My gut feeling is you've taken enough classes, you have enough knowledge, you need to apply it before you go take more classes.
Dude, I got to put this out there just to keep it real. You can get out of B class and be a complete retard. That's the truth. You don't need to be that good to get out of B class.
Any 1 or 2 classes, you should have more than enough knowledge to get out of B class. If you're applying.
I know a guy. I'm not naming any names, but I know a guy who was doing like a 1-3 draw, and he got a GM card. Right? Like it's possible.
So what?
I didn't name any names, Hopkins.
Pick the classifiers with lower hit factors. That same dude was like 7th in nationals too, right?
That's impressive, man. That was an awesome finish. Yeah.
I did do a bill drill cold the other day in 205.
That's pretty good.
So I did a
but it's
205 draw and then 10 splits. Yeah, the rest of it.
That's pretty excellent. Was that 3 yards or what was that?
It was at 3.5 yards actually.
Jesus Christ.
No, it was at 7. It was a 7.
Okay. Well, I don't know that the answer. I mean, if this guy's doing classes as entertainment,
Entertainment.
there's lots of guys that I meet guys pretty much every weekend. Okay, some dudes roll out there and they're having fun and shooting, and the idea of maybe practicing is sort of appealing, but they're probably not gonna work at it that hard. It's fun. It's supposed to be fun to go do a class. So there's plenty of those personalities. I don't know that I'm saying stop taking classes, or you mean it's kind of like I would look at this and say, dude, if you're going to the classes and you're not going to train, you're wasting your time and money. That's probably true, unless he is just going there to hang out with his friends or something.
Hey man, you can pay a couple $100 and
That's
meet a
pretty
famous
expensive.
YouTube personality. That's worth it.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, that's pretty dumb, but you could do that. I don't know. Is it expensive, Matt?
What?
Doing classes?
To take them or to put them on?
To take them. To put them on isn't expensive.
I'd say it's a fair bit amount of money. Yeah, you got to buy ammo, and the entry fees are kind of pricey.
Yeah. So I mean, I think you're looking at ammo aside. You're going to shoot the ammo you're going to shoot, but I think you're looking at if it's local to you, you're not paying for a hotel. It's similar to going to a major match, right?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It's about like a major match expense. So
It's going to be more than that, man. Come on.
is it?
Well, the entry fee is more than a major match for most.
Right, the entry fee for a class
classes.
is more than the major match, but if it's local
But you don't have the hotel.
you don't
Yeah,
have
right,
hotel
not
fees
traveling.
or any gas or
Oh, okay.
whatever.
All right.
I mean, so in totality, I'd say it's about equal to a major
Okay.
match. So I don't know. It kind of sounds like I would probably, if this guy emailed me, he's like, yeah, I've done 10 classes and I've done your class. I would assume this guy's done a class with me then. And he's like, I've done your class twice, and I'm thinking about signing up for another one. I'm still in B class. I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, are you actually going to practice this time, or am I just going to be beating on you, and you're not going to do it?
He's not wasting your time. So what do you care?
I suppose it's not wasted, but I'll tell you what, the guys who aren't really looking to improve, they're not awesome to have in a class. They're not awesome. The guys who are really engaged and really want to be better, those are the best guys to have around.
Yeah, those are the guys you enjoy being around, right?
Yeah, those are the guys you want to talk to.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have anything else to say about this? No?
No.
All right. No. Angry Matt, you didn't seem that angry today. I got to point that out.
I just gotta agree with. I mean, even that guy that asked the question had the answer in his question. Should I tell this guy to go practice? Yeah.
Should I tell him to go practice? Yes. All right, guy who asked the question. Tell your friend that I said he has to go practice. It's got to happen. Okay. Well, that's going to do it for us today. If you want to get with Hopkins, it's Hopkins Shoots Guns or whatever. HopkinsShooting.com.
Hopkins Shooting.
Angry Matt is at notverytactical.com, and Nick Antola is still on fucking Facebook. Nick, you need a website, dude.
I'll get one one of these days. I'll get a
All
website.
right, cool. If you have a shooting question you'd like to send to me, you want me to give your friends a what for on their practice, head over to bensteger.com and shoot me an email. I'd love to hear from you.